Hi there, I'm Jonathan, and I thought I would start this new series. Today's a very special day actually, because in a few hours, in less than 3 hours, LHEA is going to be announced as a Canadian Game Awards nominee. So I'm pretty excited about it. I actually created this game as a solo dev, started 3 years ago. And yeah, the game's been launched since September. I got really good feedback from it. I kept updating it, fixing bugs, adding features, and now I thought, let's actually record some walkthrough of it and maybe do several parts, and then I can kind of comment about the game and its development. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna bring back the sound. There we go. All right. So what do we have here? This is a brand new fresh save. It's the latest update. Yeah, you can see it here. This is the Steam version, but obviously, like, the game is available on several stores. We have Steam, Epic Game Store for PC, and Android and iOS for phones and tablets as well. And let's do a new playthrough of this. So let's start from scratch. Whenever you open the game for the first time, this is the main menu, and you have two options. So there's a full introduction that kind of explains a little bit the context, the story of the game, presents LHEA, presents the word spirit. So we'll play that for this first part of video. But if you want to play like a fresh new game, you can do just a quick tutorial and skip directly to the roguelite part of the game. So LHEA is a timeline battle strategy game, right? It's a mix between turn-based and timeline combat. And timeline combat is really not a common genre. There's a couple JRPGs that have done that really well in the past, but it's not a style we see very often. So we'll play the full intro. And if you do later on like start a game and you want to start over, there's always in the options a way to reset your entire game data and start over as if it was a brand new save. So let's go ahead and start that. And let's start the adventure. So year 1, here we go. Here we go again. So we have the little word spirit here in the Room of Life. We're not exactly sure what's going on yet. Seems to be some kind of ritual room. And it's gonna summon something from a book. May the stars align in your favor. So there's a bunch of books here, a bunch of unknown potions, a weird symbol on his head, the same symbols on the wall. Let's see what happens. All right, 1,000 years later, another year is about to end. And we have a new little creature appearing. Let's see what this whole has learned in their life. So the Room of Life is basically yeah, I'm gonna spoil it right away. We're about to see it anyway. The Room of Life is a place where the word spirit helps souls transition from one life to another. So they just died from wherever they came from. They come here and they basically absorb what they learned and move on to their next life. Okay, here's a second one. Show me what you got. Nothing. So this soul hasn't learned much in their previous life. Unlucky. Great. Next. Alright, so this word spirit has been doing this for a long time. How long have I been doing this? At least 1,000 years, but maybe more. Probably more. And now there's a special one. Oh, it's you. Please, 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 please. And there's the awakening. So this is LHEA. And what makes her special compared to all the other souls that enter the Room of Life and the in-between is the fact that she awakens. You are safe. This is the in-between. So LHEA is now aware. She awakens in this world, and she's now aware of this little creature standing in front of her. Word Spirit says, I'm taking care of this place. That's not helpful. I was just in a car and oh, am I dead? Yeah, so the Word Spirit goes on about explaining what is this place, what is his role. Something meaningful must have happened to you in your most recent life, something that awakened your soul to higher purpose and a deeper understanding. I see, I don't. Alright, follow me. So the Word Spirit will kind of become LHEA's guide here. LHEA being extremely new to this. She was just basically living just a few minutes ago, so now she kind of awakens here, has no idea what's going on. I don't feel so good. And then they move on to a secret room. Okay, first I would like to give you this. So now the Word Spirit looks like it's trying to give us something, and basically it will guide us, but it also needs our help. So let's figure out what we can do for the Word Spirit. It's all shiny. It's a nice little necklace with an essence vial. And you see this number appearing here. And interestingly enough, we still see this icon everywhere, this symbol. So this is half of that symbol. And it's the main logo of the game, and it's the main two systems of the game. It's essence and knowledge. This vial is filled with essence. It allows you to stay in the in-between. So basically, it's pretty much like health points in any RPG, any action game, any turn-based strategy game. This is your health points. It's called essence in the game. If it depletes, you will transition to your next life on Earth. So this kind of concept flips the concept of roguelite on its head, because usually in roguelites, you play, you die, and then you're reborn again. In this game, it's the other way around. It's you die to enter and start playing, and once you can't stay there anymore, you're reborn onto Earth and move on to your next life. But you don't see that part. You just see what's happening in the in-between. Nice little pun here from our Word Spirit friend. Get it? Bad audience. Moving on. All right, great question. Why would this be empty? So what the Word Spirit wants our help with is a bit dangerous. I mean, I'm already dead. How worse can it get? I like how you think. Now I have something else. All right, and this will be the most important object that LHEA will get. This is a very special flute. It contains your entire knowledge of the world. It seems empty. Exactly. You've just awakened. There is no rush. Everything you will do here will help you gain more knowledge. And you can also learn from your lives on Earth now that you're fully awakened. So we'll see all of that. It's basically like the Word Spirit is explaining gradually the roguelite loop, and it's foreshadowing the systems of the game through this. So of course, LHEA says it's still making zero sense. So what am I supposed to do with this? She doesn't play music. And that's precisely what I'm about to show you. So here's the, that's for the context, and here's the tutorial part of the game where we're gonna start seeing, how the duels work and what's the game loop of the roguelike part of the game. So this is the entrance to the Night Realm. And by the way, every single bit of music and everything, I also composed throughout the development. I love making music in general. I've been actually playing music for longer than I have been making games, and it was really important for me to try and also tell a story through the music, because obviously there's no voice acting or anything. It's just dialogues and then the gameplay. So music is at the center of everything here. Obviously, LHEA has the Fate Flute, so since your weapon is an instrument, I really wanted to focus everything on music and audio design. So what are we doing here? This is the Night Realm. So what is this, like a different planet or star? So not exactly. The in-between is the place where all the different universes connect together. That's why when you die in your universe, you arrive here in the in-between, and then you transition to wherever else, maybe a different universe. And they all exist outside what you call life on Earth. So some souls, when they get to the in-between, they can transition from one life to another, absorb their learnings, and move on to their next life. But other souls can become lost here. And oftentimes it's because they've been influenced or affected by energy or entities that are much stronger than them. So they're not even aware of that's going on. They're just kind of lost in this in-between world. And yeah, LHEA's like, oh, this is kind of hard to wrap my mind around. And yeah, obviously, the first time you see this. But not to worry, the word spirit is there to guide us along the way. So let's start by unlocking this gate. You will need the Fate Flute, but you also need knowledge. So here, this should get you started. Alright, so the word spirit gives us our first knowledge book. And it's a 5-letter word, knock. And you have a little description here of what the word can do. So basically now we have a spell book. LHEA can now gather spells and different casts inside this book, and we can use it in our upcoming duels and battles. You can consult your required knowledge at any time. So this is the first kind of menu tutorial of the game. This is your spell book, knowledge book. And you can see like there's a whole bunch of things grayed out because obviously we only learned one word. We only unlocked knock for now. But if we click on it, we see, okay, there's a family. So this is a common spell. There will be more, a lot more. And there's a bit of damage done. So 5, the rule of thumb is the basic damage for any word is 1 damage per letter, so 5. And then ideal flute slot for 3 extra damage is number 8. So we'll get to that in a second. Once you start having multiple spellcasts, you also have some filters here to help you kind of reduce the list, because there's hundreds and hundreds of spells you can unlock through the game. Yeah. So let's move on. Now use this knowledge and imbue it in your Fate Flute. Alright, so this is the second menu, and these 2 menus you're going to spend a whole lot of time in, especially this one. This is your flute, this is your timeline, this is what you use as a weapon when you're going to battle in a second. So if we take a look at it, the Fate Flute comes with a ring, and it's currently a level 5 ring, so it makes sense with the level, the 5-letter words we have, and we can imbue it in the ring. So the rule of thumb is, like if I select different filters here, you see you cannot imbue a 6-letter word in a level 5 ring. So this ring here is what is going to cast the spell, and you can basically put a spell in it, put a word in it by imbuing it. So let's go ahead and do that with knock. And then of course, this is a timeline, so you can move it around wherever. And we're going to see in a second how the duels work. I'm kind of just shifting ahead a little bit here. But basically this is the timeline that plays left to right, and it's looping, and it determines like what are the casts what are the spells you're gonna cast on your foe, and your enemy also has a Faith Flute of its own. So let's go ahead and place it in the ideal slot number 8 for now. And you can see it turns green. There's a little damage boost. Perfect. We can now unlock the Night Realm. So now we're ready for our first duel against the Night Realm Gate. Alright, so this would be fairly simple. Let's see here, what do we have? We have our own Faith Flute at the bottom with the ring we imbued, 70 essence. And then the Night Gate also has one. So when you enter a duel, it becomes a time battle. The flute represents your timeline, and the Night Realm Gate has one too. And LHEA still doesn't understand a thing, which is normal. So think of the Faith Flute like a magic wand, and the rings are the spells. Let's begin. So now you can see the timeline is moving, and the Night Gate actually casts first, because the timeline reads left to right, and the first ring that was reached is the Night Gates. So it was able to cast first. It used a special cast with the word fix. You did notice probably that the word fix also healed the gate, and it dealt 3 points of damage to us. Since we haven't cast yet, the heal didn't do much. It was already maxed out at 12, but yeah, you get the idea. So now it's LHEA's turn. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, the timeline continued, we hit our ring, and now we have a choice. It's choose your state of mind. So taking a quick look at the state of mind, it's basically a way to activate power-ups during a duel. And of course this can be leveled up and, more efficiently. When you start, you can have 3 power-up points per duel. Not power points. And then the 6 different power-ups you have are listed here, basically extra damage or dodging or blocking damage, and the other 3 are also extremely useful. We'll get to them later. For now, let's just try to do some extra damage. All right, and that worked out pretty well. So we dealt 10 damage here. We dealt 5 from the spell itself because it has 5 letters. We dealt an additional 3 because it was placed in the ideal slot, and we dealt an additional 2 because of the state of mind. So 10 total out of 12, which is pretty good. So absolutely, the word knock was cast as a spell, and every letter dealt 1 essence damage. And yes, this is a basic word, a common word, but there's special cast with additional effect and not just 1 damage per letter thing. So let's finish the duel. The gate will try to fix itself. It did fail the cast, and now it's our turn again, and for sure we're gonna win this one. So let's go ahead and do extra damage again for another 10, and we got it. Alright, so we win. What do we get? 50 knowledge points. Great. And now we unlocked a new thing. It's called Harmony, and we'll be able to use that in our next duel. But basically we can now collect these things and activate special Harmony abilities whenever it's full. So let's take a look at that later. And we have one more thing. We did get a new spell. The spell that the gate used against us. Now we can use it. And a new ring. Great. So LHEA's excited about it. I guess I can add it to my Faith Flute. Absolutely. You're catching up a lot quicker than expected. Let's go do that. Alright. We just adjust this here. There we go. So there's ways, if you ever, you keep playing and you want to change the pace of the game, there's a few options where you can change the dual speed or the dialogue speed to fast if you want to. Some people prefer this slow pace. Some people prefer everything to go a little bit quicker. So yeah, you have the option there. And you also have for PC a couple very basic advanced feature, but like display mode if you want to play full screen or windowed, and turning off very rare but still present camera shakes or the bloom. But LHEA has such a simple and minimalist art style that there aren't a bunch of graphic options like most games, because it's already really bare bone and optimized already. So let's continue. We have our new ring, so imbue your new ring before we move on. Let's go take a look. So we have a second ring, great. This one is level 4, and if we take a look at the knowledge, then we have a new word. So fix is also common, but it has a special ability. There's a 10% chance we can heal ourselves by 3 to 6 essence points, and it also has a ideal. Every word basically has an ideal flute slot for extra damage. So if we go here and imbue it, we can move this right here and have the best version of the flute. Because really that's what LHEA's combat is all about, is upgrading and optimizing your flute to always get the most out of this and win as many duels as you can. So we'll get to that part later, but yeah, you can probably start seeing how this can scale up and how you can become more powerful basically. You also have 3 different presets, so in total 1 preset can hold 3 rings, and eventually you unlock a 4th ring, which unlocks a 2nd preset, so you can have 9 rings in total, 9 casts for the entire timeline. Once you get to that point, you're extremely powerful, but we're far from that yet, so let's keep grinding. Such is the power of the Fate Flute. This all seemed way too easy. Yeah, it's the tutorial. The Night Realm is a breeze. It exists precisely for newly awakened souls like you. So the Night Realm is kind of under control. The Word Spirit is very familiar with it. It's a very controlled environment. And the rest will be relatively risk-free. Relatively. What? Yeah. It's like that little disclaimer at the bottom of the contract where I say, you might or might not die. Let's see what happens. Anyway, the realm is now open because we unlocked it, so the Word Spirit will be waiting for us here. Let's enter. Okay, so we are in our first realm, the Night Realm. Because we unlocked the gate, now we can kind of move around here in this space and try to explore and see what's going on. There's a little character here. It seems like an active tile. If I click on it, there's a lost soul here. So yeah, it's exactly the lost souls that the Word Spirit was referring to, being kind of stuck here and held in place by an entity stronger than them. So basically they're bound to the in-between. Nisha is the one we have to defeat here. They have 20 essence, and they have the cast Dawn placed in slot number 2. So we can easily compare, before going into a battle, we can easily compare the spells of us and them, and eventually make informed decisions before going into battle. But now, that's the only cast we have, so let's give it a shot. Anyway, it's a very safe space. The Night Realm is not a place where you can necessarily die and fail often. It's just to go through the hoops. So they cast the first ring. Let's go ahead and block some incoming damage. Yeah, we have a lot of essence, so we should be fine. Let's still try to optimize this. Yeah, looking at the other 3 I didn't talk about. So the combo is cool because it seems like the same amount of damage, but if you are able to chain it in multiple casts in a row, it increases every time. So +2, +4, +6, which is nice. The focus one is only useful for special casts. So we have Fix, that's a special cast. It would increase our chances that Fix would succeed, basically. And then sight, I think, is one of my favorites. It's kind of a boost for whatever next one you're gonna do. So if you do sight, you get a +3 or +10%. And then if you do, let's say, a lying after, you get +5 instead of +2 because of that boost. So sight is a really good kind of a power up for the next power up, but you don't know which ones you're gonna get, right? Because you only get 3 per cast, so it's always kind of a gamble, but it can really pay off. But for now, let's keep it simple. Let's try to dodge the next one, actually. 25% chance, that's not too bad. Let's see if it works. It didn't work, but we did block 2 damage because of the other one. And let's finish it up with more damage here. That should be enough. Yeah, 7 on the dot. And that's our first duel. And first lost soul, actually, that we freed. 50 knowledge points once again. We get a word. We get their cast, Dawn, great. And now the lost soul is freed. Great. Alright, so what else do we have here? We have a question mark. It's currently locked. Alright, let's keep moving around. Oh, we have a book here. Let's see. It's a discovery tile. So, alright, cool. So we have increased maximum essence. So obviously this vial has a maximum. We've just increased it. So if we keep healing, or whenever we go back to Earth and come back, it will fill up again, and it will have more next time, basically. Alright, we have this new cast here that will eventually add to our arsenal. Alright, what's this? We have a little gem here. This is the realm seal. Alright, so this is the exit of the realm, basically, and it tells us that we need to free and release 2 more lost souls before we can seal the realm. We're on 1 out of 3, so let's keep exploring. Let's see, oh, there's one more here. This time it's not. Same amount of essence, dawn. Instead of dawn, it's dusk. Alright, we should be good. Alright, we cast first. Let's try this focus. We get a 20% chance instead of 10, and it worked. We can heal ourselves, actually. Nice. +5. And let's go ahead and use the sight increase for the next one. Alright, we get 4 damage here. That's okay. I'm clicking to pick up the harmony. Like, whenever this is going to be full, I'll be able to do something, but the Night Realm duels are pretty quick since they're low essence. So I don't think we'll get to that yet. And 10 damage with the word fix. So yeah, you can start seeing how all those different elements combined can really create powerful casts and powerful attacks. So that's really all the core timeline and combat loop is about, is upgrading and maximizing your flute and using every little kind of feature around it to improve it even further and maximize your output, your damage output during the duels. Which, yeah, that's the entire like timeline / turn-based strategy part of the game. All right, let's see, what do we have here? Oh, red book. The word hot, chance to inflict additional fire assets damage. All right, great. But now, yeah, we would have to replace one of these words. But since this is a tutorial loop and we want to encourage, showing all the features, let's add a 3rd ring to the first preset. So now we can imbue this. Now we do have a first conflict though, meaning that we have 2 words now with ideal flute slot 7. So we have to decide which one we put there, or we don't have the damage boost, but that's quite okay. Actually, I think I'll skip the healing and I'll equip one of those 4-letter instead. Maybe, let's say dawn, because it's earlier in the timeline. Let's put it in slot 4 and then move hot to slot 7, and just like that we have 3 optimized rings. Great, let's try this out and let's go see our last. Oh, you can see there's a little white line connecting the two tiles here, so this one is locked because we need to finish this duel first. And it's Nyx, so it's the stronger of the three. It has 2 casts instead of 1, and it has a bit more essence. So it'll be closer, but we should still be more than okay with 63 essence. Alright, cast first with Chaos. Let's use Sight. Alright. Sight again, like +6, you can see when you mouse over, or when you hold the tap on a phone or on a tablet, you can see a preview of what the effect would be. +5 damage is tempting, but let's keep increasing here. Oh nice, we got the 10% success. Sweet. And let's see, if I have the word knock, so that's 5, and I got a +3 for the ideal slot, which is 8, and I can do +8 combo damage here, so that should technically finish the fight early. 16 damage, sweet. Alright, that went well. And that was another 50 knowledge points, a 5-letter word, nice. And that was the last lost soul of this realm. So realm is ready to be sealed. And then, yeah, whenever you're about to seal, you might or might not see this. It's just a little kind of friendly warning. Say, oh, there's tiles you haven't explored yet. Do you really want to seal the realm? Because once you do, you can't come back to it during this run. So let's go see what this question mark is about. It's a wisdom tile. Oh, and it's a nice little moment with the word spirit. So I lied. I said I was going to wait for you outside, but I wanted to follow you into the night realm just in case. And there you are. You found me. So LHEA has a question. The lost souls, the entities, what are they? So these wisdom tiles and these moments you have with the word spirit, they're also meant as optional tutorials or additional context behind some features, or maybe even sometimes just explaining what this world is about and a little bit more narrative to it. So like the word spirit mentioned, some souls cannot move on to their next lives on their own. The entities represent the energy imbalance within them, something they need to, work on, something they need to solve, like, I don't know, anger, jealousy, like whatever it is. And the word spirit, basically to help us, it gave names, the 3 lost souls we just fought against. There was Nisha, there was Not, and Nyx. These are basically different deities from different earth cultures. But it doesn't really matter what their name is. It's more about what they represent. Like, we're in the night realm, they all represent darkness, night, a force of the dark, and also the cast they use against you kind of infer a little bit what the energy imbalance is and why the lost soul is stuck there. So like any concept in life, you have balance and you have like the extremes of not enough and too much. This plays exactly on that. Like if you're balanced, if you're healthy, if you're, you learn from your mistakes and you move on. But if you lean too much towards something extreme, whether it's, laziness or, anger or, wrath, it can bring you in kind of these dangerous paths, and you can kind of distance yourself from the true person that you could be. And that's what this whole thing is about. It's just lost souls that are not quite the perfect version of themselves, the perfect version of what they could be. And that's why LHEA is here, awakened, and with the Fate Flute and a bit of strategy, she can help all those lost souls kind of rebalance themselves and move on to their next lives. That's what it's all about. That's what the in-between is. So the word spirit will be around all the realms. As you explore, as you fight duels, as you seal realms, you're gonna see him more often. All right, so a little bit more knowledge points for this, and now we can seal the realm. Alright, so what did we get? A Night Shard and a Ring Upgrade. Awesome. There's the shard. So the realm is now sealed. Well done. I think you're ready. So, okay, I guess this was all kind of a test, or a safe realm to test out the Fate Flute. And now everything's good. But first, the Word Spirit will send us back to Earth. And LHEA is a bit worried about that. I think she's starting to enjoy the in-between. Your lives on Earth will help you become stronger in the in-between. So this is where the Roguelite loop is introduced. We'll get to it in a second. It'll make sense soon. And I'll see you in several years. Yeah, LHEA's a bit scared. Yes, you'll see me again, don't worry. See you soon. And now time keeps moving forward. So basically, LHEA left the in-between and is now living lives on Earth, or maybe even some other universe at some point. We don't know. And then she will come back to the in-between to continue her journey. And every time you do that, every time you go back to Earth, you can basically convert the knowledge points that you gained into new abilities or new features. And here we have these three choices. So we could have a new ring. It's a bit expensive. Or we could increase maximum essence and have a new word. So let's go ahead and do that, actually. And yeah, let's pick a new word. Oh, a purple word. What is it? Flip. Reverse the direction of your opponent's Fate Flute timeline. Interesting. Alright. Back to the Room of Life. Welcome back. Like 200 years later. You're here. I mean, I'm here. I have no idea how any of this works, but I do feel stronger. Alright. Now, follow me. It's time for the real deal. Okay, so this is the moment where the introduction ends. Obviously, I was speaking through a lot of these things, so it lasted a while. I think it were a little bit over 30 minutes for the thing. If you play it on your own, with your own pace and just going through it, it's about 10-15 minutes top. Depends how you play, really. But this game is not about speedrunning, obviously. It's really about playing it at your own pace. And that was the intention from the start. That explains features such as changing the dual and dialogue speed too, so you can power through it really quickly, and you can really take your time and sit back and enjoy the flow and the music and everything. So the intro is done, and now the Word Spirit is bringing us to the real thing where the game starts. Here we are. Check this out. Wow. Are these gates the different realms? Yep, exactly. This is the realm hub, and the night realm is under control, but this is where the Word Spirit needs LHEA. You need to seal all the realms without running out of essence. So there we go. That's the main objective of the first part of the game. Gotta be honest, this is a bit overwhelming. Yeah, of course. It always feels like that, but then you take a step forward, and then another, until you look back and realize it wasn't. And I'll still be around. So we still have our little guide friend with us, so that's good. LHEA's not too sure, but I believe in you. Now go. And boom. So this is a perfect moment to stop this first video. This was part 1 of the walkthrough. I will do more. I will keep this save and keep progressing and record some other videos at a later date, for sure. But for now, yeah, we're here. We have the 5 realms. A few things appeared here. So LHEA's goals, we did seal the Night Realm, great. And now we have to seal 5 realms without running out of essence. So this is where the roguelike comes in. You're gonna unlock and explore realms. You're gonna fight lost souls, improve your flute, gain some more spells, and unlock a bunch of other features I didn't even talk about yet. and eventually, yeah, you even have more objectives. So yeah, you keep progressing slowly, and eventually you'll be able to seal all of those. You even have something for later for Transcension, but I won't even talk about that for now. So yeah, this is a great point to stop. We have 7 spells, we have 3 rings with an upgrade. So we'll start with the upgrade next time. We'll decide which gate we unlock. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Basically what we played is also available for free on Steam with a demo, and you can even play a few loops in the demo as well before purchasing the game. And yeah, look forward to the announcement in a couple hours. I don't even know myself which categories LHEA is nominated in, so I'm so excited for this. I'm going to go ahead and use this and transition to that. But yeah, this is surreal. When I got the email, I was extremely excited. It's been difficult to keep this to myself, but it's finally getting announced today. So I'll be posting everywhere about it. And if you want to give the game a try, honestly, I know I'm super biased, but I think it's a very relaxing and very fun strategy game. It's a different twist on turn-based because it includes this timeline concept. There's a bunch of additional features here that are tying up to the combat that helps you really optimize and make, every choice is important. Every choice makes you progress, and you just basically adapt to what you discover, try to overcome the in-between, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you give it a try, and thank you for watching. I will see you in part 2.